So, Andi, you know how important it is to listen well when you're trying to communicate better?
Yeah, I think so. It's like really paying attention to what the other person says.
Exactly. And don't just wait for your turn to speak. You need to show that you're interested in what they say, like nodding or saying uh-huh now and then.
That makes sense. But sometimes I get distracted by my own thoughts.
Happens to everyone. Try repeating back what they said, but in your own words. This way, you can check if you understood right and also show them you were listening.
Repeating back sounds good. It would help me stay focused too.
Definitely. And remember, eye contact is big too. Keeps people engaged and shows respect. Though not too intense, don't want to scare anyone.
Right, balance is key there. What about when someone talks a lot? How do I handle that?
Good question. Sometimes ask questions about what they're saying or make small comments. This keeps the talk flowing and stops them from feeling like you're zoning out. Oh, and speaking of showing interest, nonverbal cues are huge too, like body language and facial expressions.
Yeah, I guess that's important. How do you suggest improving that?
Well, it starts with being aware of your own gestures and expressions. If you're talking and your arms are crossed, it might look defensive or closed off. Try keeping an open posture instead.
Open posture. Got it. What about facial expressions?
Smile more often, especially when you're listening. It shows you're engaged and friendly. And nodding helps too. It tells the other person you're following along.
That makes sense. Smiling can really change the mood of a conversation.
Absolutely. And mirroring their gestures can build rapport. Not exactly mimicking, but if they lean forward, you lean forward a bit too. It creates a connection without being obvious.
Mirroring sounds interesting. It could make people feel more comfortable talking to you.
Exactly. And don't forget about maintaining good eye contact. It's not just about showing attentiveness, it also builds trust. Just be sure to blink normally so you don't seem creepy.
Huh, true. Eye contact is tricky but important.
It definitely takes practice, but once you get the hang of it, it'll become second nature. Nonverbal signals can sometimes say more than words ever could. Speaking of which, let's talk about some verbal communication tips. How you phrase things can make a big difference in how others perceive you.
Sure, I'd love to hear some tips on that.
First off, use clear and simple language. No need to complicate things with big words or complex sentences. Keep it straightforward so everyone understands what you're saying.
That makes sense. Clear language is easier for everyone to follow.
Exactly. Also, try using I statements instead of you statements. For example, say I feel upset when, rather than you make me upset when. It's less confrontational and focuses on your feelings rather than blaming the other person.
Using I statements sounds like it could prevent arguments from starting.
Definitely. Another tip is to ask open-ended questions. Instead of yes or no questions, go for ones that encourage more detailed answers. Like asking, what did you think about the meeting, instead of just was the meeting good?
Open-ended questions can lead to richer discussions.
Absolutely. And don't forget to be concise but thorough. Get your point across clearly without rambling on and losing people's attention. Speaking of open-ended questions, let's dive a bit deeper into how to use them effectively. They really help keep conversations flowing.
Yeah, I'd like to know more about that.
Great! So, open-ended questions are those that can't be answered with just a yes or no. They prompt the other person to share more details and thoughts. For example, instead of asking, did you enjoy the movie?
That makes sense. It opens up the conversation more.
Exactly. Another example is if you're discussing plans for the weekend. Instead of asking, are you free this weekend? Try something like, what do you have planned for this weekend? This gives them room to share more information and maybe even come up with ideas together.
That's a good way to engage in a more meaningful conversation.
Absolutely. And don't forget to follow up with additional questions based on their responses. This shows genuine interest and keeps the dialogue going. Like if they mention seeing a friend, you could ask, "How's your friendship with them going?"
Following up makes the conversation feel more connected and personal. What?
Yes, it does. Open-ended questions can really transform a casual chat into a much richer exchange of ideas and feelings.